Well, I think their body language sums up how all of us are feeling, sitting here really deflated after that, and actually talking about Alexandre Lacazette and his desire to be playing in that final in Lyon, where he's from. Of course, you sensed that tonight, didn't you? He was up for this.
He was right at it. I mean, this is his early opportunity, and that's, you know, it's very unfortunate. I think he chooses the right technique here, the instep, tried to guide it towards goal, hits the outside of the post. But it was this point, they were really doing the right thing, Arsenal, in those wide areas. If you see how narrow Atletico played, that's where the space was. Get it wide and get the ball in the box. They defend very well, yes, but that's where your spaces are, and it's exactly where the goal came from. It was actually Griezmann trying to nutmeg Monreal on the edge of his own box. Jack Wilshere finds a lovely little pocket of space. And just how early Lacazette gets up there is how the goal is created, Martin. It's just the leap.
I mean, Jack does brilliantly here, Jack Wilshere, and he waits for that space. He wants that space. He's waiting for that area, always loitering, and then he commits to it. And it's a fantastic leap, and it's textbook header down into that corner. It needed to be something special to beat the goalkeeper here tonight. And you thought Arsenal then were going to do the job, and they were off and running.
And as we were watching him being interviewed, you watched the interview and just said to me, those two have been let down tonight.
Definitely. I mean, normally it's about you winning and you lose together as a team. But if we break it down into compartments, the front players, they've done nothing wrong tonight. They can't approach themselves. At the back of the team, I would feel tonight I've let them down if I was a defender. Because, you know, you have to do your job properly. And as I say, certain building blocks are not there with the defence. It's one ball down the middle and everybody suffers. And look, they're great lads. They'll come back, but they know how difficult it is now to win this second leg.
And we'll look at the goal that Arsenal conceded in just a moment. But actually, by contrast, Atletico looked sort of strangely at home playing 4-4-1 after the red card, didn't they? Just to sit in and be solid, it just suited them. They just...
This is where they live. It's as simple as that. You know, they are calm.
Isn't it?
This is obviously the sending off, and the referee gets that right. That's the second one. It's a clear stamp on Lacazette's ankle.
So is it just a case of being so well drilled?
They've been here hundreds of times, this team. It's how they play 4-4-2. You lose one player, they just lose a striker. They rotated the striker about 3 or 4 times today, and it's all about kind of resting those individuals. Sometimes Griezmann goes wide, then he went up top. In defence, I was watching Diego Godin, and he just don't flinch. He doesn't get too over-animated. He gets everyone together. He gets his defence in tight, and within the goalkeeper, he's like the last kind of man standing. And he put in a performance today that was just as good, if not better, than absolutely all of them.
They don't overcommit. They just slide across, and they've got somebody in a position. They don't panic. They get in the way of things. I mean, when they don't, this goalkeeper is a little bit special. I mean, great reflex save there.
They've conceded 19 goals all season, the lowest of any team in the top 5 leagues across Europe. So it feels like an Arsenal-type result. You know, they had the chances, they played nice football going forwards, but they weren't particularly critical. They didn't have that cutting edge, but then conceded a weak goal. But is that doing a disservice to an Arsenal side that they were always going to struggle to break down such a good team?
Well, look, that's what they're good at. This is their territory. They defend very well, but it's this is the situation here that can't be allowed to happen. It's just one ball down the middle. And I think Koscielny is quick, but he knows Griezmann's quicker, and he panics. And he tries to get... This is when you sort your line out. Now, look, if you have to take your line off the player who's on that side of the ball. He should be up Monreal, but he isn't. But I'm not sure what Koscielny's doing there. Get goal side. I'd be thinking there, I've got to get goal. And even here, he panics. You could see that through, and then Mustafi falls over, and in the end, it just looks a terrible goal to concede, goes through the goalkeeper's legs. But when the ball's up the other end, that's when you're getting into position. That's when you're setting the trap to win the ball back. And that's where the building blocks are missing. They don't see danger quick enough.
It tells me there's a lack of almost leadership and communication as well. Usually centre-halves, so the one secondly will be coming up the pitch and saying, get up. You know, they can't. You see them coming up the pitch going like that, and that's because they want to be kind of the furthest back of everything, because then they know no one can make runs in behind them. Whereas there, he's got himself ahead of Monreal for some weird reason.
We've said this about Arsenal so many times, though, haven't we, over the past 4 or 5 seasons? It's a recurring theme.
It is, and it's cost them tonight. It's one of the reasons why Arsene Wenger is having to leave when he is.
There you go. Maybe it's a result and a performance that in many ways sums up where Arsenal are at the moment. And of course, we'll get the thoughts of Arsene Wenger in just a couple of moments. It was his final game here at the Emirates as the Arsenal manager in European competition. And his face tells a picture. A frustrating night for the Arsenal boss, a frustrating night for the Arsenal fans. His thoughts after the break.
Thank you, Arsene.
Talking of belief, you looked at me during that and said, he's making me believe again.
He is. And, the dust has to settle on this. And the mood, I think he's positive with his performance, and it nearly came off. And he'll be disappointed the way that they conceded the goal. And there's no doubt that the defensive compartment has let the front players down. And that is criminal. A game where, it should have been as it once was, 1-0 to the Arsenal. And it wasn't. But don't back against Arsenal, though, being able to score. I know that they've got an incredible record, only conceded 4 goals this year in the Serie A.
Yes, but Athletico last conceded a goal at home on the 20th of January.
Correct. But, why not? How about conceding one in the next round, in the next leg? Who knows?
Like that.
You've got to go there with some sort of optimism.
Yeah, we also got beat at the weekend, 3-0 by Sociedad. I watched in the last tie that Sporting Lisbon gave him a right go and actually should have scored in the dying seconds at home. Yes, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but they're giving away opportunities. And I saw tonight, there are cracks back there at times. And I saw some positive things from Arsenal. I thought the intensity, the intent of the players, the way they approach the game, and I think that's what they've got to focus on. They're going to come off feeling like they've lost the game of football, don't get me wrong, but they're playing against the second best team in the Liga right now, and they need to focus on the fact that, yes, they had 10 men, but they battered them even in the 20 minutes or 10, 15 minutes when they had 11 men on the pitch. Yeah. And how do you go and do that now over in Madrid?
It changes the conversation completely. With Welbeck, a good game tonight, Ozil, running, chasing, picking up pockets on that right-hand side, whipping crosses in, Lacazette's movement, that tremendous spring. It looks like Rolls-Royce to me up front. It looks like a really good signing. And then they get it wrong.
You've got to cut out mistakes, Martin, haven't they? Simple as that.
Minimise your mistakes. But as I say, it's those building blocks, defensive building blocks. It doesn't seem to be in the mentality. Koscielny should be talking, should be getting Monreal out. And if Monreal won't come out, then you drop off and you stay alongside him. And then you don't become suspect to the ball over the top. And that's what's done Arsenal tonight.
OK, 7 days until we find out what happens in the next leg. Maybe you should get down to the training ground.
Nothing to do with me.
It's everything to do. Marseille and Lyon could be quite something. Right, come on, we need some hope now. We need some hope for the second leg. What can you give us?
Well, it's a fighting chance from Arsenal, isn't it? You've got to be lucky to be a champion, and they're going to need a huge amount of luck in this second leg. Disappointing tonight, but something to build on.
Luck. So obviously. Luck is your hope for the second leg?
Well, you've got to have luck. In every trophy I ever won, we were damn lucky, I can tell you.
With you in the team, you mean?
Correct.
In the meantime, off to Old Trafford at the weekend. Just a small matter of Arsenal's last trip there.
Lovely.
It's almost a write-off now, isn't it? Just
Do you think so?
Look, obviously, it's a huge moment. Last time going to Old Trafford for Wenger, but he needs to just focus on Thursday as well.